Hi everyone, and welcome to this video tutorial. In this opportunity, we are going to practice how to use an ssh-key in Ubuntu and use it into a GitHub repository. And then we are going to create a Django project and upload the changes into the GitHub repository. So the first thing we need to do is to check if we have updated the system. It's asking for the password. Everything is okay right now. As we are going to work with GitHub, next thing we need to do is to check. I'm going to clear the screen. The next thing we need to check is, do we have installed GitHub? So the command is, in this case, we have installed the version 2.43. In case we don't have installed it, this is a command to install Git. So the next thing we need to do is get into the folder with the SSH key. In this case, we can see we don't have any SSH key yet. So we are going to create it. It's asking now for the path where the SSH key was going to be and the name of the file. In this case, we only need to put the name of the file. It's asking for the passphrase. We are not going to put anything. We're going to just enter and enter again, and we can see a representation of the SSH key we just have created. With this command, we are clearing the screen. So what we need to do now is to copy the SSH key we just created into the GitHub. And we are going to use the command cat. And we're going to copy all this because we need to put this into the GitHub. And now we're going to the web page of the GitHub. And we are going to create a new SSH key. We need to go to settings, okay? Once we are inside settings, we are here. And then we need to create a new one key, okay? We want to put a name to the key. And here I want to paste. And we are going to create. Okay, so we have put the SSH key into the GitHub, and now we have to check, is everything working here in the computer? And everything is working good. Now we need to download the repository in GitHub to our computer. The first thing we need to do is to create the new repository. This is not exactly a GitHub tutorial, but the most important thing is, of course, the name of the repository. The visibility is going to be public, we want to add a readme file and the license, okay, which is public. I'm going to create it. So right now, once it's created, we need to copy to clone the repository with the sh key. I'm going to copy it. Now, what we need to do is to go to the folder, to the main folder, where the repository is going to be. So in this case, the folder is going to document. And right here, we are going to clone the repository in GitHub. So now I just have created the SH key. What we're going to do now is to create a Django project and then upload it to the repository in GitHub. The first thing we need to know is that Django is a framework for Python. So we're going to check do we have installed Python. In this case, we have the version 3.12. In case we don't have installed it, this is the line to install it, okay? So to work with Django, we need to install the virtual environment. And again, we're going to check do we have installed virtual environment. In this case, we have installed the version 20.25. So in case we don't have installed it, this is the command to install it. We're going to clear the screen. And now we're going to install the virtual environment that is going to work with this particular project. Okay, so we are already into the folder of the Django project, and we are going to install here the virtual environment for this project. So as we can see, we have installed the virtual environment for this project of Django. And we can see the two files from the GitHub and the virtual environment that just created. Once we have created the virtual environment, we need to activate it so we can work with Django. And as we can see, the virtual environment is activated. With this one here, we can see it's activated. We're going to clear the screen. And now, yes, we're going to finally install the Django. once we have installed Django, we want to create the main project of Django. Once we have created the main folder for the project Django, we want to check it, and we can see the project and the virtual environment folders. And here I extend it into the folder of the Django project. We want to clear the screen. And now what we have to do is to create the application that we're going to use in the project. And now, yes, we're going to finally start the server so we can see if the Django project is correctly started. We have a key here, a small warning, but it's no problem. We only need to check if the Django is working. And it's working correctly. So right now, the next thing we need to do is to upload all the work we have made here in the computer into the remote repository in GitHub. One thing that's important here is that there's files related to the system of Django that are not necessary to upload to the GitHub project. So we're going to use this file that help us with all these system files that we don't need. Okay, here's the page and we can download it. So we download it. We're going to the download folder. Here is the zip we just decompressed. I'm going to copy this file that is .gitignore. And we are going to our project, Django test. And where do we have the README file? I'm going to paste it. And we are going to clear the screen. So right now we're going to check the files. And right here it's telling us that there's the .gitignore file and the folder my project that we need to add to the project. With this command, we are adding all these files. And then we are finally ready to make our first commit and our first push to the GitHub repository. And now we're going to check into the website. Is everything okay? So here is empty, and here is everything uploaded. And as we can see, there's only the folder of my project, not the folder with the virtual environment. Thank you for your time, and for more information and the links are in the description. Bye bye. Hi everyone, and welcome to this video tutorial. In this opportunity, we're going to practice how to create an SH key in Hi everyone, and welcome